Hey, I'm Jessica. If you love cars as much as I do, you're in the right place. From drifting car days to uncovering the world's most iconic rides, gear up and subscribe to Race with Jessica for non-stop car fun.
12 beginner motorcycle habits that can get you killed. Just got your license and think you're ready to conquer the open road? Hold up! Before you twist that throttle, we need to talk about something serious. Most new riders pick up deadly habits that could end their riding career permanently. Bike, body, and life. This covers the 12 beginner habits that could literally get you killed. Habits that experienced riders see from a mile away and make them cringe. Ready to save your own life? Let's dive in. Number 12. Riding too close to cars. This is hands down one of the most lethal and common beginner mistakes, and it shows up the second you get comfortable enough to think you can ride like everyone else on the road. You know the situation. Traffic is flowing, and you find yourself tucked right behind that SUV's bumper, maybe 2 bike lengths back, thinking you're maintaining proper distance. Your brain is telling you, this is fine, I'm keeping up, but your survival instincts should be screaming, abort, abort! Instead of keeping a safety cushion, you're riding in the strike zone. Or worse, you're so focused on not losing your spot in traffic that you forget cars can stop way faster than you think, and you're staring at their brake lights instead of scanning ahead. That's called tunnel vision, and it turns an ordinary commute into a guaranteed trip to the trauma center. Here's why this happens. When you're inexperienced, you underestimate stopping distances. You think your brakes are better than they are. But motorcycles need distance to stop safely, especially in less than ideal conditions. If that car in front of you panic stops, you've got maybe 1 second to react. And if your following distance is too tight, you're going to either lock up your wheels or slam right into their trunk. Neither option ends well. The fix starts with discipline. You need to follow the 3-second rule, minimum. Pick a fixed point on the road, count how long after the car ahead passes it before you reach it. If it's less than 3 seconds, you're too close. Back off. Second, practice your emergency stops. Find an empty lot and practice threshold braking until it becomes muscle memory. Learn where that edge is before you lock up. Third, always have an escape route. Don't just focus on the vehicle directly ahead. Look 2, 3 cars up. Scan for brake lights cascading back toward you. If you see trouble developing, you need time and space to react. Finally, resist the pressure to keep up with traffic. It doesn't matter if someone thinks you're going too slow. Your life is worth more than their opinion. Every successful ride where you maintain proper distance builds your safety margin until one day you realize you're not just surviving, you're riding smart. And if you think tailgating is dangerous, wait until you hear about the habit that makes you invisible to every driver on the road. If you're following along, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We've got plenty more life-saving tips coming that you definitely don't want to miss. Number 11, wearing zero protective gear. Look, I understand. You just want to feel the wind, look cool, and not deal with the hassle of gearing up. You want to believe that a quick trip down the street doesn't require full gear, that you're careful enough, and that accidents happen to other people. But let's be brutally honest. Riding without proper gear is basically volunteering to donate your skin to the asphalt. This is one of the most preventable beginner mistakes because it's so tempting to think, I'm just going to the store. I'll be fine. The reality is, most motorcycle accidents happen within a few miles of home. You're not invincible, and that t-shirt you're wearing isn't armor. You're not driving a metal cage with crumple zones and airbags. You're on an exposed machine where you are the crumple zone. If you ride like gear is optional, you are literally gambling with your skin, bones, and life every single time you throw a leg over that bike. That's why experienced riders gear up even for 5-minute rides. It's not that they're paranoid, it's that they're realistic. The harsh truth is, some riders think they'll be more careful without gear, that the fear will keep them safe. That's backwards thinking. Fear makes you tense and reactive, not smooth and safe. Proper gear actually makes you a better rider because you're comfortable, protected, and can focus on the road instead of worrying about what happens when you go down. Dress for the slide, not the ride. Every piece of protective gear gives you another chance to walk away from a crash. If you think skipping gear saves time, try spending 6 months in physical therapy learning to walk again. That's the real-time commitment. If you think you've mastered gear awareness, there's another silent habit that gets riders hurt more than they'd ever believe. Number 10, never checking your mirrors. Welcome to tunnel vision on 2 wheels. Nothing screams inexperienced rider quite like someone who stares straight ahead like they're wearing blinders, never once glancing at their mirrors to see what's happening behind them. You might think you're being focused, but you're actually being blind. Skipping mirror checks is basically riding with half your awareness shut off. One day, you'll need to change lanes or slow down suddenly, and you'll discover there's a car sitting right in your blind spot, or a truck barreling up behind you, or another rider about to pass. And guess what? By then, it's way too late. Here's why this habit is so dangerous. You're excited to ride forward. You think, what's behind me doesn't matter right now. But motorcycles are vulnerable from every direction. You don't have a rear bumper to protect you. Everything has to be monitored constantly. So, develop the habit of checking your mirrors every 5 to 7 seconds. Make it automatic, not optional. Your mirrors tell you who's approaching fast, who's drifting into your lane, and who's about to do something stupid. Without that information, you're making decisions based on incomplete data. And incomplete data gets riders killed. So do yourself a favor. Make mirror checks as natural as breathing, not an afterthought. Because when someone rear-ends you at a stoplight, you'll wish you'd been watching. And speaking of things sneaking up on you, there's another dangerous habit that catches beginners by total surprise. Number 9, accelerating through turns. Here's a habit that sends beginners flying off the road all the time, either chopping the throttle mid-corner because they're terrified, or worse, accelerating hard while leaned over like they're trying to set a lap record. Neither approach is doing you, your tires, or your continued existence any favors. Let's break this down. When you roll on the throttle aggressively while you're already leaned over, you're asking your rear tire to do 2 jobs at once: maintain traction through the turn and put power to the ground. That's fine if you're smooth and progressive, but if you crank it open like you're launching a rocket, you can break traction and low side faster than you can say, hospital bill. On the flip side, some new riders panic mid-corner and chop the throttle completely. They suddenly get scared and roll off hard. That weight transfers forward, compresses the front suspension, and can cause the bike to stand up and run wide, or worse, tuck the front and throw you down. The sweet spot? Smooth, steady throttle maintenance through the corner, then progressive roll-on as you start to stand the bike up coming out. That's where the bike is stable, predictable, and happy. For most corners, you should be at maintenance throttle or slightly increasing through the apex, not chopping or hammering it. When you get this right, the bike flows through corners like butter. Get it wrong and you're testing the limits of your medical insurance. But here's something that happens so often, most beginners have no idea they're doing it until it's pointed out. Number 8, looking down at the ground. The invisible skill killer. This one is embarrassing, deadly, and happens to every beginner more times than they'd like to admit. You're riding along, and without even realizing it, your eyes drop down to stare at the road directly in front of your wheel. Or worse, you look down at your speedometer, or your hands, or literally anywhere except where you need to be going. Here's why this is such a massive problem. Where you look is where you go. It's not a suggestion, it's a law of motorcycle physics. If you're looking down at the pavement 2 feet in front of your tire, your brain thinks that's where you want to be, and your body will steer you straight into whatever obstacle you're staring at. And it's not just looking down at the road. Beginners also stare at obstacles they're trying to avoid. You see a pothole, you fixate on it, and boom, you hit it. You see gravel in a turn, you lock onto it with your eyes, and suddenly you're sliding through it. But to experienced riders, proper vision technique is everything. They're looking through the turn to the exit. They're scanning far ahead for hazards. They're using their peripheral vision to track their position. Unlike beginners who stare at the ground, skilled riders know that your eyes need to be at least 2 to 3 seconds ahead of your bike. That means you should be looking where you want to be, not where you are. The fix requires conscious effort at first. Force yourself to look up and ahead. In corners, turn your head and look through to the exit before you even start to lean. On straights, scan the horizon and the road ahead, not the asphalt under your headlight. If you catch yourself looking down, immediately correct it. Proper vision technique isn't optional, it's survival. Because looking down might feel natural, but it's actually the fastest way to crash. If you think vision problems are bad, wait until you hear about the habit that makes you completely unpredictable to everyone around you. Number 7. Inconsistent speed control. Riding like you're on a yo-yo. Nothing broadcasts beginner status louder than wildly inconsistent speed. You know the type. They're either creeping along at 15 under the limit because they're terrified, or suddenly blasting forward like they just remembered they have somewhere to be. This habit makes you look completely unpredictable to every driver around you. Your speed is constantly surging and dropping. Other drivers have no idea what you're doing, and everyone around you is wondering if you're okay or if your bike is malfunctioning. Here's what's happening. Beginners treat speed like a suggestion. They don't realize that maintaining consistent speed is a core skill that affects everything else. They speed up when they feel confident, slow down when they get nervous, and create a dangerous pattern that other drivers can't predict. Inconsistent speed doesn't just look amateur, it's dangerous. When you suddenly slow down for no reason, cars behind you have to brake unexpectedly. When you randomly speed up, you might surprise a driver who was planning to pass you. You become a moving hazard that nobody can read. The fix starts with awareness. Pick a speed that's appropriate for the road and your skill level, then hold it steady. Use your throttle smoothly and progressively. Don't make sudden changes unless there's a legitimate reason. Practice maintaining the same speed through gentle curves, past parked cars, and through varying road conditions. Master speed consistency, and you'll blend into traffic like a professional. Ignore it, and you'll look like a danger to yourself and everyone else. But even perfect speed control won't save you from another habit that announces you're a rookie from a mile away. Number 6. Stopping with one foot down while moving. The awkward shuffle of doom. Here's a habit that's literally visible to everyone around you and screams that you haven't figured out basic balance yet. You're coming to a stop, and instead of staying on the pegs until you're actually stopped, you stick one leg out like a training wheel at 5 miles per hour, paddling along and wobbling like a baby learning to walk. The one-foot shuffle is probably the most embarrassing visible sign of a nervous beginner. You think you're being prepared for the stop, but you're actually making everything more unstable. When you stick your foot out early, you're removing a crucial contact point that helps you balance the bike. Motorcycles stay upright through momentum and balance, but your early foot down is like trying to stabilize a bicycle by dragging your shoe. Here's what the foot shuffle does to your riding. It makes you wobbly and unsteady during the most critical part of stopping. You can't use your rear brake effectively because your foot isn't on the peg. Your body position shifts awkwardly, and if you need to suddenly accelerate or swerve, you're completely unprepared because you're already committed to stopping. Plus, the foot shuffle is a great way to drop your bike. If your foot hits an uneven surface, a wet spot, or catches on something, you'll lose the leverage you need to hold the bike up. Then, you're going down in slow motion while everyone watches. The fix is simple but requires trust. Keep both feet on the pegs until the bike is fully stopped or nearly stopped. Use your brakes to control your speed, not your foot as a crutch. Only put your foot down when you're at a complete stop or moving so slowly that the bike is genuinely about to fall over. Practice this at every stop. Build the confidence to trust the bike's balance. Soon, you'll be stopping smoothly with both feet up until the last possible moment, and nobody will mistake you for a beginner anymore. But even if you nail your stops, this next habit will betray your inexperience in the worst possible way. Number 5. Riding in the center of your lane. The target zone mistake. This is the habit that makes experienced riders shake their heads when they see you. You're rolling down the road planted right in the center of your lane, like you're driving a car, completely unaware that you've positioned yourself in the most dangerous spot possible. Terrible lane positioning doesn't just look clueless, it multiplies every risk you face. When you don't position yourself strategically, you're giving up your most important defensive tool, space. You're riding where oil and coolant accumulate. You're putting yourself directly in line with debris kicked up by cars. You're making yourself less visible, and you're eliminating escape routes. Here's what center lane positioning does. You're riding right where all the cars drip oil, antifreeze, and transmission fluid. That strip down the middle of every lane is slippery and treacherous. You're directly behind the car ahead, right in their blind spot if you're following. You have nowhere to go if someone starts merging into you. And you're not maximizing your visibility to drivers at intersections. The fix requires understanding lane positioning strategy. In general, traffic, ride in the left third of your lane. This keeps you out of the oil strip, maximizes your visibility to oncoming drivers, and gives you an escape path to the right if needed. When passing parked cars, move to the left side of your lane to avoid doors opening. When approaching intersections, position yourself where cross traffic can see you best. Your lane position should constantly adjust based on what's around you. It's not a set it and forget it thing. You need to actively manage your position to maximize visibility, maintain escape routes, and avoid hazards. But even perfect lane position can't protect you from another habit that puts you in immediate danger every single day. Number 4, fixating on cars instead of escape routes. Mother Nature's reality check. Here's the habit that separates riders who survive from riders who become statistics. You're out riding, focused entirely on the cars around you, and completely ignoring everything else that could kill you. That patch of sand in the corner, that diesel spill at the intersection, that debris in your lane, that pothole ahead. Ignoring road conditions is like playing chess, but only watching one piece. You're so worried about the obvious threat that you miss the hidden dangers that will actually take you down. Gravel, oil, water, leaves, metal plates, paint stripes, tar snakes, potholes, and random debris don't care about your schedule. They're just waiting for you to stop paying attention. Let's talk about the invisible killers first. That innocent-looking patch of gravel in a corner has exactly zero grip. Your tires are designed for pavement, and gravel turns them into hockey pucks. Your cornering ability gets cut to almost nothing, and if you hit it while leaned over, you're going down faster than you can process what happened. But beginners see gravel and think, I'll just ride carefully through it. No. You need to spot it early, adjust your line to avoid it completely, or slow down significantly before you reach it. Everything becomes more deliberate and less forgiving. The fix is developing threat awareness. Stop staring at the car in front of you and start scanning the road surface constantly. Look for changes in color, texture, or anything that doesn't belong. Wet leaves, oil rainbows, shiny patches on asphalt, anything that looks different is probably slippery. Train yourself to spot these hazards early so you can adjust your path or speed before it's too late. Number 3, never practicing slow speed maneuvers. Becoming the parking lot disaster. This habit is so sneaky and so limiting that it keeps riders from ever developing real control. You learn the basics, get comfortable at speed, and then spend all your time just riding on open roads. You never practice U-turns. You never work on tight turns. You never push your slow speed skills in a controlled environment. You just hope that when you need to navigate a tight parking lot or turn around on a narrow street, you'll figure it out. Slow speed control is a perishable skill. Even if you learned it once during your test, if you don't practice it regularly, it'll abandon you when you need it most. Your brain will panic when you're trying to turn around in a narrow driveway, and you'll either tip over at 2 miles per hour or have to do a 10-point turn while everyone watches. Slow speed skills are where you learn real clutch and throttle control. They teach you how to balance the bike using the rear brake, throttle, and clutch in coordination. They build the muscle memory that keeps you upright when things get tight, but beginners avoid practicing because it's hard, it's embarrassing when you mess up, and it doesn't feel as fun as going fast. Number 2, grabbing the front brake in a panic. The instant crash button. Here's the habit that ends more beginner rides than almost anything else. Something unexpected happens. A car pulls out, a dog runs into the road, a ball bounces in front of you. Your brain screams, "Stop!" And your hand instinctively grabs the front brake lever like you're trying to rip it off the handlebar. Panic braking is the amateur's signature move. You've been riding along normally, using your brakes smoothly, and then suddenly, your survival instinct takes over and throws all your training out the window. You grab a fistful of front brake, lock up the front wheel, and either go down immediately or fight desperately to save it while your bike skids toward whatever you are trying to avoid. This is when beginners learn the difference between knowing how to brake and actually being able to do it under pressure. You think you're careful enough to never panic, but not experienced enough to control your reactions when fear takes over. You're relaxed enough in normal situations, but not trained enough to stay smooth in emergencies. The front brake has tremendous stopping power, but it requires progressive squeezing, not grabbing. When you snatch at it, you overwhelm the tire's traction instantly. The wheel locks, stops rotating, and now you're just sliding on a patch of rubber instead of braking. You've turned your most powerful tool into a liability. The fix requires dedicated practice. Find an empty parking lot and practice emergency stops until they're second nature. Start slow, build up speed gradually. Learn to squeeze the lever progressively but quickly. Feel where the edge of traction is. Practice until threshold braking becomes automatic, not something you have to think about. Remember that every emergency stop you practice in safety is one less panic grab when it counts, and panic grabs are what turn minor scares into major crashes. The best riders are the ones who train their responses, who practice until smooth braking is instinctive, and who respect that the brake lever is a precision tool, not an emergency switch. Stay trained, stay smooth, stay on two wheels, because in the end, the most dangerous thing in an emergency isn't the obstacle itself. It's the panicked rider who grabs everything hard and hopes for the best. Number 1. Thinking you're ready for anything after a few weeks. The confidence killer. This is the ultimate habit, the one that underlies all the others and creates more crashes than everything else combined. You've been riding for a couple weeks, maybe a month. You've got your basic skills working. You can shift without thinking, take corners without sweating, and you haven't had any close calls. So naturally, you start thinking you've got this whole motorcycle thing figured out. But here's the brutal reality check. You're nowhere near as prepared as you think you are. Basic skills are exactly that. Basic. They'll get you around the block without falling, but they won't save you when reality hits hard. You've learned to ride in ideal conditions, but you haven't experienced the real challenges yet. This is when beginners make fatal errors. They're confident enough to take risks, but not skilled enough to handle the consequences. They're comfortable enough to ride in challenging situations, but not experienced enough to see the dangers coming. They're relaxed enough to stop being cautious, but not wise enough to maintain healthy respect. The truth is, every uneventful ride isn't proof that you're improving. It might just mean you haven't encountered your limits yet. And when you finally do, if you're not prepared, the results will be catastrophic. The best riders are the ones who never stop learning, never stop practicing, and never stop respecting what can go wrong. They know that the moment you think you've mastered it all is exactly when the road is waiting to humble you. Stay hungry for knowledge, stay humble about your abilities, stay alive. Because ultimately, the most dangerous thing isn't the road or the traffic or the weather. It's the rider who stops learning after the basics and thinks that's enough. If you recognized yourself in any of these habits, don't feel defeated. Feel motivated because now you know exactly what could save your life. Pick one habit from this list and commit to eliminating it this week. Just one. Master it. Build the skill. Then tackle the next one. Coming up next is another video that could literally save your life. Want to know what dangerous mistake even experienced riders make? Click on it. Let's go. If you made it this far, don't forget to like and subscribe. Your support keeps this channel going and helps us create more life-saving content for riders like you.